Hello, everybody. I am Sun Psychic Jean. Welcome to the show. Happy Saturday, everybody. And everybody knows one of my very special co-hosts is Spirit. Hi, Mark. How are you
Hi,
today?
I'm fine. I'm always like being here with you every month. It's always tons of fun. I love reading with you and reading with all you guys, of course. Thank you all for joining us. My name's Mark, Spirit Whisperer. I have my own channel, so go over there if you haven't.
Absolutely. All of Mark's information is in the show notes below. And we have several of the moderators here that'll pop it in from time to time.
Yep.
And we welcome everybody who is watching us from Mark's channel as well. We can see everybody's, we can see all of your chats, all of your comments together today. I'm trying to do two things at once. I shouldn't be, but I'm trying to. There you go. Okay, so Moira, Viviani. Hi, Viviani. Nice to see you. And Tanita, Sherry Luke, Flower Beauty, McGrill, and Wiki is here. Hi, Wiki. And Craig Dixon,
Hey, Craig.
and Swantag. I see you guys. So, Mark and I are just looking to have a little bit of fun today. We would like to do a variety. And I know that Mark is open to just about anything, right, Mark? As
Anything
far
and
as
everything.
reading.
Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
good about it. I don't care. If
Hmm.
Spirit were to say no, well, then I'd say no, I can't read on that. But so far, they don't really. So,
Hmm. And yeah, the more specific, the better.
yeah.
And if you have not had a reading live with either Mark or I on, with us, we invite you to come on and you can just say, "May I have an energy reading?" If you don't know anything else to say and this is your first time here, please do come on and just say, "I would like to try an energy reading," and we'll sort of get your energy and give you a reading that way. So we'd like to have newcomers come on. I know Saturdays is a prime time, and Saturdays at noon. In this morning time, especially around my area, it's kind of gloomy and rainy. So if you're inside and you're just toggling through and you'd like to give it a try, just say I'd like an energy reading, please, and we'd like to invite the newcomers in.
Gloomy and rainy here too for like day 4 in a row. Really thick cloud coverage all the time and just gloomy doom gloom.
Hi, Lisa. She's so sweet. She says, "Hi, Mark. Hi, Jean." I love this is exactly, just so you know, everybody, this is a really good example of how to send or a request for a reading. Use emojis, use caps, because it gives me notice that that is a question or something for me to click on. And it's more likely that I'll see it as I'm going by. Very nice. Hi, everybody. So, Mark, you have been busy. What has been going on with you and your channel?
Same old, well, every week I always do readings on Saturdays, today at 4 Eastern, and I always do readings on Mondays at 2 Eastern. Mondays is about animals, Saturdays about everything. And then, I'll drop in on other people's channels here and there, once or twice, usually a week. I'll visit other channels, which I love to do, which is like this today. I always love that because I love reading with other readers. Um, I just think it's more fun. So that's about all. This week, I don't have anything scheduled. Do I? No, coming up because I just read with Terry. So no, I don't have anything to announce. I have been doing quite a bit more private sessions this month for some reason. So I've been busy doing those.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Flower Beauty has a question here, and she says, "You guys are bang on with readings. How do you do that?" And she says it a little bit differently. How do you guys manage to read another person's energy on the internet. It's crazy. Well, I think that this is a good time to maybe just remind everybody that we are all one. We are all on the same vibration. We are all one consciousness, one collective consciousness. It is a soul's vibration. It is a tuning into your energy. Everything is energy. Here and on the other side, it's all energy. And the same way we listen to our guides and your loved ones on the other side, and it's through transcending time and space, is the same way I can connect to you and your energy through time and space. I just focus on your energy with my intention. And my intention, we all, humanity is so much more uh, we have so much more ability than we've ever been than we could understand, that our abilities transcend time and space, and this goes along with manifestation and so on. But how would you answer that, Mark? How do you do it?
Well, number one, I'm always consciously working with the guide, and I feel like they're able to do it. I don't know. It's so I feel it's more they're able to do it. Not that maybe someday I would be able to do it without their, but I do that. So I remember when I first started, and we were going to do readings for people, everywhere, not just people who come to me, but on the phone. And at the beginning, I thought, well, we're not anywhere near them. How can that even work? I wondered myself, Flower Beauty, how's that going to work? Because they're in England or whatever. And, Spirit go, well, there's no, from my perspective, there's no really time and space. It's all just one, just like what Jean said. And we can just connect. The energy's just there and it's easy to tune into. So then I still was like a little doubtful. But then after doing it, I just began to go, well, that's just the way it works. I don't know exactly. I can't explain 100%, except that time and space thing doesn't exist the same way from that other realm. So they can just tune right in. And it's the same thing with the internet. So I just kind of trust that Spirit's able to do it. And I just go with it from there. And that's the way it works. I don't know. And of course, practice makes it easier, and so after practicing for so many years, I just kind of go, I don't even think about it. But the only thing I think about is I have to get in a little bit of a state. It's like an altered state, so that I'm in contact with what I call my spirit guides or the teachers. So even if I'm sitting here, there's a part of me that's attached to that. I don't know, like that plug in or that stream. So I have to make sure I'm kind of plugged in every time. And then I just let it flow from them. And then I trust. That's also a hard thing when information starts coming through, to trust it and present it. Because again, you're going, I don't know this person. I never met them. So I just have to trust that what you're sharing with me is going to serve them. And, there we go, like that.
And for me, Mark, the less I know about somebody, the more accurate I can be.
Yeah.
And because when you know something, then that little ego or the analytical saying, oh, that can't be right. Oh, that's not, it's our own ego or our own thoughts or our analytical self gets in the way. But the less I know somebody, the more I can open up and just trust that whatever comes in, it's not from me because I don't know you. I can trust that whatever is coming in, whatever I'm feeling, sensing, or hearing, it's for you. And but that's a really good question. Really good question.
When I read with animals too, I have to kind of keep I have to caution myself not to get too emotionally involved with the animal because I love them all. And so I have to kind of keep a little bit of a distance just for that, because if it's harder for me to read for my own pets than it is to read for somebody I don't know sometimes, because you'd have an emotional attachment, and that can kind of cloud. Or you have an outcome that you really want or hope for, so sometimes that can get in the way. So it's best to be kind of, I don't know what that word is. You have to be a little,
Neutral.
yeah, there you go, neutral.
So this is also another good question. And sometimes we forget that people are, don't understand how or why but she said, can we do the same with the future? And if so, can we do it accurately? And what would you say to that, Mark? I'll let you answer first and then I'll give my experience.
Yes, sometimes, but free will choice is always mixed in there. So things can change. Also, it's hard to predict exact timing. Like, I'll have a sure as the world feeling that something's going to be, but it's harder to understand exactly when it'll be. And sure enough, it'll happen. But because I think free will choice can filter in there and change it or switch it up, or so things could be going down one direction, but if all of a sudden a bunch of free will choice gets mixed in there, it can just turn it. So like in general, when I look to things like the next election, stuff like that, I'll have a really strong hit on the way I think it's going to go. I don't always come on here and say it all the time. I just, I do watch from within to see, because also I like to know, is this right on or not, but things can switch and change. Like Gene and I were talking before we came on, that we sensed like a little shift in the force this past couple of days, like where the energy shifted a little. And I'm going to say that's probably due to some free will choice there, because it felt like energy changing sides or letting go of a grip onto something. There was some kind of a shift. It felt better to me. I liked it. But I did notice, oh, there's a little shift that's happened. So, and I think that's probably free will choice. And I'm happy because this was a good free will choice, I felt like. So, but what do you do about future things? But
Yeah.
people always ask us about the future, every question. What's going to happen at this meeting I'm going to? So it's always projecting ahead. But again, there's no time as far as the guides are concerned. Like a lot of
Yeah.
times they'll say things to me like, well, this has already happened. You guys are just moving to that result. But from my perspective, I already see how this is going to pan out, unless there's some, you change some. So, we always have to kind of go into the future.
So I'd like to work on, as the energy is at this moment, this is what is likely, or this is what is impending, or this is what is more closer to your vibration, or that this vibration is stronger to go to LA rather than to Chicago. Like I'll be able to tell. And will it be 3 months, 5 months, or 6 months? Where the energy is the strongest at this moment is what I feel comfortable talking about. But if, like Mark said, if something happened and somebody finds themselves expecting a baby, then maybe that's going to push off the timing. But it's as the energy is right now is the best way I can do it. And you know, then however anything else affects that, it does. But it's really hard to predict time and future. We can see energy, we can see what's best for your vibration and what is resonating with to the energy that you're talking about. But I think this is really good to talk about. So
Yeah.
thank you very much for the insightful questions.
And Gene, like because with the pets a lot too, but people, with health and transition, because I have a lot of that with the animals. And so let's say we're looking at an older pet, and we're looking at the idea of transition and how we're going. Well, it can either go one way or the other. Mark, as I'm channeling the energy, if it were me, my focus is always on the highest good, whatever the soul's best thing is. But Mark, will look to health. But it's still up to the soul to choose if it wants to transition, and it's not going to. So it can go either way. Now, even though Mark, will be focusing on health, at the same time, Spirit will oftentimes tell me they're going to transition. I will still kind of focus on the health part. So I'm not going to jump on the we're going to die bandwagon. I'm always in that there's free will choice all the way through, because I want the, and I'm all about transition too. If that's what's there, good, and I'm there to support it. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but
well, if one pet has a kidney disease and passes, the other pet that has the same kidney disease may not pass for several different reasons. It wasn't in their life path. It isn't in their energy. Their energy is to overcome that kidney disease or to live with it and be nurtured by there's different reasons. It's not just cut and dry. It's not black and white. It's not ego. We impose human kind of characteristics and reasoning to these things, and it's not. A lot of it is energetic and spiritual. And expect miracles, you guys, because I have seen miracles. Absolutely, 100%. We never know. We never know. Somebody looks like they're on their very last leg, and then another 9 years later they're still around. You never know.
Right. And I've worked with some, like there was an example once where a dog did seem like it was ready to transition. It had cancer really bad. And when I looked at it, it looked like, well, this, it's not really good. She's looking to transition. Her body's not really supporting it and all that. So it seemed like we're going to go. But here's where free will choice kind of got in there. The owner of the dog worked at a vet, and so she was bound and determined to fix the dog with medicine no matter what. So even though it felt very strongly that the dog was ready to transition, it was also willing to please its owner in whatever she wanted to do. So then it prolonged it a little bit. She did succumb to her illness in transition, but her owner put her through a couple of surgeries and things like that. Now, Mark, I would have let her just go, but that's just me. So I can't let that get in the way. So when the owner tells me, well, I don't care if you're guiding me the surest transition, I'm going to prevent it and stop it, well, then I have to be open to that. Okay, this is your choice here. I could feel that it's probably not going to go the way you're hoping it will, and you're being a little bit, you're going to force this, and I don't believe that's going to really. But you have to let people make their own choices and go for it. So in that position, I have to guide as good as I'm able, and then allow people to make their own choices ultimately, because that's what it's about. You know what I mean? I can't. So that's what I mean by I have to be open to it going either way. Even if I see very clearly it's going this way, I still need to be open in case we're going to do some, a human or somebody's going to get their free will in there and try to make it different. So, I don't know if that helped anybody, but
yeah, it's never 100%. It's not black and white, like I said, and it's not up to us. It's up to the soul.
right.
And it's wonderful to have the ability to tap in. Some of my best readings, most passionate, the strongest feeling and the love that the love that I felt were when I was bringing through a pet that had passed and was coming through. The pets, the love, the the intensity of the love and their compassion and their devotion and loyalty. I feel so that I can express to you what I'm feeling them say, and it's some of the most beautiful. Unconditional love feeling I've experienced.
Yep,
It's really amazing,
I
really.
agree.
So Valerie from Illumination Portal is here. You're a busy girl, aren't you, Val?
I
Hi,
got
nice to see you. Val is a wonderful astrologer and is on my channel, and Mark has been on her channel before.
yep,
We love Val.
just last
Go
week.
over
It's lovely.
and check her out. So let's go ahead and get started. I saw M. Steve here taking a day off from everything today. Different kind of question. There is a long time aging stray orange cat in the neighborhood. Maybe a stray, but maybe somebody's outdoor cat is what I was thinking.
Okay.
And he says, "What's it thinking when it sees me?" I think he likes to visit your energy. I think he sees that you are aware of his of his soul, of his aura and his soul, and that he's more than just a cat or an animal. That he has a soul and he has a something to think about, and that's why you're asking, what's he thinking? Oh, that's cute. I love that.
Well, he
Oh,
hears your thoughts for one thing, so
yep.
he's thinking you're thinking about him, and he notices it because that energy, he just becomes aware. It's because it's not. Well, he'd be aware if it was negative too, but it's positive in this case, and so he's going, "Oh, where's that positive energy coming from?" So he looks to connect it, and he actually he like takes it in. Um, like it's like nice human energy that feels good and positive. He likes it, but I think he's mostly noticing you noticing him.
Hmm. I think he's wondering if you have any kids that he can play with. If you have any fur babies, he's looking and he's saying, "Is that a dad of one of my friends? Who is that? Is that somebody I know? Does he have any fur babies to love?" I think he's wondering, is he looking for a new fur baby?
Yeah,
But I do feel as though he does belong to somebody, and or it could be somebody else is feeding the stray for quite a while and is taking care of him, whether he's an indoor cat or an actual owned. But I do feel as though somebody else is taking care of him. Um, but cats can roam. Do you know how far they can roam? Like 2 miles, 3 miles, or something?
yeah, pretty
Mark?
far.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
feeding him, Steve? It says no, just me. Was that the answer to that? Um,
Right. He said he's doesn't have any fur babies.
oh, okay.
Mhm.
No, just me. Oh, that's what that was answering. Well, this little cat wouldn't mind to get to know you a little better. I do know that. Would it's a nice energy you have. He likes it, or she, but I think might be a boy. It's interesting because I love this card when it comes up. So it's that is what I was talking about there at the beginning. He recognizes that loving energy coming his way, and it's even a little orange kitty paw. Uh, you said it's a little tiger kitty, orange kitty. So that's the kind of paw we got there. Oh, you just started putting out wood. He wouldn't mind for this relationship to build a little and become friendlier, like come closer. Would you like to give me a little snack or something? He's a pretty smart kitty cat. He has a pretty strong presence. I feel like he's gonna be, he wants to surprise. Oh my God, he wants to he wouldn't mind for this relationship to get a little bit stronger and a little bit more personal. So a little bit more interactive, let's say that, where he might hang out there a little bit more. I love his energy. He seems very smart. Well, for example, he really recognizes energy. Like he can tell you have a positive energy. Yeah, I see. Yeah, like that. He'd like it to get closer and closer. Actually end up being buddies. So we'll see about that.
I think he sees you have similar vibrations. He's a smart, independent male is what Mark's picking up, and you're a smart, independent male, and you both are looking for a little companionship. And I think that's what Mark is finding, this magnet, or there's a reason why you're in each other's lives. And it's not that you have to, it's just that there's an opportunity there. I'm not sure how much he'll stay with you, because if he's a loner and he likes to roam, he may always like to roam. But you know, that's up to you.
And that's true. But he might want to have a relationship like that. That even though he's a roamer, he might stop and hang out with you for a little bit. Because I get Pounce decide to act. So I feel like he's going to push the relationship a little farther. And I love every card I pull is a little orange tiger kitty.
Mm-hmm.
Another little Pounce, and then truth, let it show, more tiger kitties. So I think, that it's going to just be it's going to grow, increase a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to sucker you into offering a little bit of food.
Yeah.
Without
And
water.
by you doing that, it's not only nurturing him with the food, it's nurturing you with the kindness and the companionship. Yeah. He's still bold to the sudden move.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's because he's
he's
been out on his own and feral, so he has to be, alert and on alert all the time.
Yeah, interesting question, Steve. I really liked it, trying to unravel that and look into that with you. So thank you very much for the question. So Mark, we're gonna jump around here. We're gonna jump around. Isn't there a song called "Jump Around" or something?
Jump in.
Jump around. Well, it's from Mrs. Doubtfire. That jump around. That. But anyway, can I get a message or advice about a car loan that I have at a credit union? I'm moving for a higher paying job. A guy is contacting a guy is contacting about a new loan. Oh, that's not good.
Okay.
Can I get a message advice about a car loan that I have at a credit union? I'm moving for higher paying job. I'm not sure, Tasha. Tasha, if you're still here, from what I'm gathering, if you could just let me know, is somebody from the credit union soliciting you? Because if you don't, I would just be careful of that. If somebody is soliciting you, or if you are looking for a new loan.
She's here, I see.
It's hard. What do you think, Mark?
Can I get a message?
Oh, she says yes. Yes, he is.
So they're trying to get you to switch to someone else, to get a different loan besides the credit union.
There's fees involved, and that's how they make their money. And they're always going to want to try and poach. So unless it's something that you're looking for, I'd be very cautious about it, Tasha.
I know I'm kind of getting stay with what you have. I don't know. Feels like hold off is what I'm hearing. Now, that doesn't mean you might not do it in the future, but I just feel like, wait, don't do it yet or something. Or if you are switching jobs, wait till after you've done that or something like that. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like don't. What are you getting?
The loan office wants to convert you to an auto loan from an auto loan to an unsecured loan. Yeah, that's there's reasons behind it. They're going to be making more money off of you whenever you switch loans. Your interest begins again, and yeah, it's just when they're soliciting you, they know that there's a chance for them to earn something from the transition, and they're going to tell you all the benefits that it does for you, but they're not going to tell you how much more it's going to cost you in the long run. How long have you had the first loan, Tasha? Because they have these like little indicators that pop up. Oh, she's halfway through her loan. Let's try and get her to start all over again. Because
Right.
you've paid the majority of the interest already. You pay the majority of the interest in the first third of the loan. And if it was a 5-year loan, the first 2.5 years of the loan, for a year, 1 year she's been. And you've paid mostly interest. And then if they can get you moved over to a different vehicle, then they can get you to pay mostly interest up front again. Um, yeah, they tell you it's no collateral, but how much interest is it? It just I think there's a lot. Jill, that was Jill saying that.
Yeah.
Okay.
The hook is no collateral. Yeah. Yeah. I just get no. And I keep trying to say, are you sure? And it keeps going, no, don't. Now, maybe if you were approached again in the future with something else, yes, but for some reason, this doesn't feel right to me. And all the cards feel like you're better off continuing on what you're doing. Like I feel like, because I don't know anything about any of that. Jean knows a lot more. I tend to agree with everything she's saying, just from energetically, but I don't know anything about loans and all that stuff. But this Knight of Wands, I just feel like steady as she goes, keep going with what you have. I feel like in the end, the other thing's going to cost you more. And it's kind of a little bit shady. So I get the Tower after that, like that other option, not so good. It's about them trying to get more money somehow out of you, even though they'll try to act like it's all great. But in the end, I would just stick with where I am, stick with what I got, the Queen of Pentacles, with that one. And plus, your spirit inside just keeps saying no, 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 no. So, okay.
Yeah, listen to your intuition, Tasha. And she says, yeah, it didn't feel right with me. But sometimes you're like, am I going to pass it up? No, there's always if you initiate and you go in there and you say, is there a better deal for me that I can pay less over less amount of time? And you initiate that. But if anybody's ever soliciting you, it's always going to benefit them. I mean, most likely. It's a sales call for a reason. But thank you for your question, Tasha. It was it was good. And I love the way you say it didn't feel right with me. Trust your intuition, trust that little gut instinct. Sometimes it's hard to know because our head argues with our gut sometimes. But
But that's a
yeah.
good question to bring in here too, because then you can kind of see, well, look, they're getting kind of the same thing I was already feeling. So that helps you to get more confidence in your intuition, and you begin to go, well, is that a coincidence that they're both kind of getting to know, So I like that you bring it in. And me being a Libra, sometimes I have a really hard time with simple this or this. Got my scale on today. So, it's just the kind of should I or shouldn't I question that a lot of times I need What would you do? You know, I might have a good feeling, but being a Libra, it's so hard for me to make a decision sometimes.
Oh, poor Mark.
It is.
Poor
It's hard.
Mark. Wow. Yeah, we argue with our head and our heart sometimes,
Right.
or between our head and our heart. Well, thank you very much, Tasha. I appreciate you being here. And let's go into oof, just trying to see here.
Somebody else?
Yeah, let's do something a little different.
We got more
That's what I'm
questions.
trying. Here's
People.
Tanita. Tanita wants to speak to Ricardo, and that's her boyfriend in spirit. Let's see if we can connect with Ricardo. And then Sherry Luke, if you're still here, please say hello. And after Sherry Luke will be Judith. Please say hello. So Sherry and Judith. And Tanita wants to connect with Ricardo. So give me a second, Tanita, and I will be right.
There's Sherry Luke.
He's saying he hasn't left your side. He's saying that you're doing well. He's saying that you can hear or sense or that you think that you feel signs or messages from him lately, but you haven't convinced yourself yet. And he says, please, Tanita, give me the benefit of the doubt. If you see something out of the corner of your eye, try not to talk yourself out of it. Just say, thank you, Ricardo. I know that's you. What can it hurt? Give him the benefit of the doubt. If you see a feather or if you see a bird looking at you like this and you're like, what's that bird looking at me for? Say, hi, Ricardo. I know that's you. Thank you. Just give him the benefit of the doubt. And this will come in and you'll get a little bit stronger of signs and synchronicities and sometimes songs. And he's also talking about your dreams. You're a very vivid dreamer and you're not sure about your dreams either. He's saying it's okay. It's almost like you're afraid to, not you're afraid, but you're cautious about allowing yourself to believe that it's him. It's like, if I believe that it's him, I'm going to open up my heart. And if I believe that it's him, I could get hurt if it ends up not being. And he's saying that it's okay. It's okay to give him the benefit of the doubt and to allow him in and to understand that these signs and synchronicities are coming from the other side. I feel as though you also have a father on the other side or another older gentleman, and there's other family members that are also helping him. But he sees that you call out to him and that you talk to him, and he just wants to comfort you by reassuring you with these signs. How about you, Mark?
Hey, Ricardo. Well, he's talking to me about, now you'll know better than me, Tanita, but he seems pretty like logical. Pretty male, kind of ego focused a little bit in his life. And I feel like what he's trying to tell me here is that, and these cards are helping, is that since he's been on the other side, he has seen a little more clearly how sometimes his focus was a little too much single focus, or on me, rather than how I fit in with everybody else. So there was a little bit of me focus that he can see on the other side. He might have opened up more to how does this serve everybody, kind of a thing, which I think sometimes you see when you get on the other side. And he says he can really see that karma is a thing. on the other side, that there's something to that idea of what energy you put out comes back. I feel like he passed earlier, like I don't feel like he was super old when he passed. It was a little bit of a surprise, it feels like. But even that, it feels like, I don't want to get too much into that, but he sees why his crossing happened when it did, with the benefit of being on the other side. Yeah, so he wasn't old, and it was a big shock. Yeah. On some level, he's taking responsibility for it somehow. Almost like kind of heading down a track that wasn't going to get to the destination he really wanted. And so it was almost like, I just need to switch. I need to change trains, kind of, or something like that. Now, that's not that he was a bad person or anything. I don't get anything like that. Seems very loving, sweet, but just sort of like that his intention or something was off course. And it was like a soul correction, like, this isn't leading where I want it to ultimately. It's getting kind of deep about that. I don't know. On some level, I don't know. I feel like he thinks that your relationship could have been richer and more satisfying too. He sees, so he's taking some responsibility in that. It sounds very, I'll make the decisions kind of a thing. Yeah, I don't know why he's talking to me about all that over there. He didn't really say much to me to give you a message. He was fooling around far too much. Okay. Yeah. All of those things you're saying are really ringing in my brain about what he's talking about. So he's kind of taking a little bit of responsibility about his transition when it happened. I don't know. It's interesting about this karma thing. Like, he just felt like he was off track and he needed to get back on track. Somehow he was this whole me and them kind of thing, that I am connected to the all and the all is connected to me. He wanted to make that much clearer and much more, this is what I need to do. He's sorry he left when he did, because I think that made it hard on you. You weren't expecting that. And he is sorry about that, although he appreciates the time that the two of you were together. It helped him see another side of things. I think you brought clarity to him, and he's appreciative of the time with you. He is sorry that he left, that he had to go when he did, because there was more that the two of you could have shared, but he kind of needed to get his ducks in a row or something. What is it? Like, it was like a redo, sort of. So anyway, I feel like it was along with his spirit's choice, even though it seemed like, he's busy over there, though, looking at all that, figuring all that out. So I hope that was helpful, sweetie.
Yeah, she said, I found a lot of deceit after he passed, which made me question whether he loved me or not. And what I hear him saying is that you were the one thing that was right in his life. The other things he thought would bring him quick happiness or quick thrills or quick richness, or he said you were the one stable thing, the one right thing, the one thing that he could rely on. And he really he was lucky to have been loved by you.
That's true. You were like the light, the good version. but I like that thing of you saying you found stuff. That made me think of that upside down karma card, because it was like putting sort of dishonesty out, and not the truth, kind of being partly. Anyway, it makes sense. It's interesting that, because I never know what anybody's ever going to say or whatever's going to come up. I don't have a clue. Don't even have any kind of an idea. So I'm always surprised about every reading. But I found that one really interesting, that he just wanted, because, normally they come through about, oh, our relationship was so bad. He wasn't really going there. It was more about, I was off course a little bit, which is interesting, because it's just, it's unique to this reading. But I don't know. That's just me being interested in what we do.
You're welcome, Tanita. She says thank you very much
You're
for the
welcome, sweetie.
messages. All the best to you, and thank you for your question, and the best regards for Ricardo. So the next one I said was Sherry. You did see Sherry, right?
Yeah, because she
And
came in
then
right after you asked her to.
after Sherry is Judith, if you're here. If not, Melody.
Okay.
So
Ricardo.
Sherry.
All right, let's let Ricardo go and look for a message for Sherry Luke. Guys.
Sherry, sorry.
No,
Oh,
just,
yeah, okay.
Just so because I know you can't see when you're
Okay, thanks.
concentrating.
Thank you, Judy. So Sherry, the first thing I'm hearing right away when I'm tuning into your energy is that you are of the light. You are the light. You are part of the light. You carry the light. You I feel as though there's a lot of drama or situations that are around you that are affecting you from other people, and it's not like your own. It's not like you're okay with you, Sherry. You're okay with you. It's the other craziness around you that you're not, that you just can't deal with, like the way other people see, or the way other people say, or the way other people treat, if that makes sense, the way other people see things, or the way other people talk about things, or the way other people treat you or treat other people. It's other people. You know in your heart that you have like this spiritual sense to yourself. You have like self-awareness, and you're wondering why people around you are acting all kinds of, out of sync, and how does this, and it causes you concern and heartache, because you want everybody to be as self-aware as you, as um well adjusted as you, and you're extremely empathic. So if somebody, let's say a neighbor of yours, I'm just trying to take it out of your family. Let's say a neighbor of yours is going through a divorce, and then something happened to her parents that was terrible. You're like helping her with her divorce, and then her parents, and it's like weighing on you, and you can't help her enough. You want to get her mail, and you want to help her with her car, and you want to, like, you can't, there's not enough that you can do to help her, because she's on her journey. And I'm not talking about a neighbor. I'm not talking about anybody going through a divorce. I'm just saying there's somebody outside of you, or several people outside of you, going through things that is causing your energy and your experience to be burdened as well. But you have this like awareness of yourself, and you're like, why am I so aware of this? But what I see is not reflecting what I'm aware of. Why is what I know is possible not reflecting in my in what I see around me? Um, They want you to trust yourself, Sherry. Trust yourself. And it's one of those things where you may be doubting. well, should I be doing this for my neighbor? Is my neighbor really in need of my help? Am I really helping her by doing these things for her, or is it on her path? But you just can't let go because you wouldn't want somebody to do that for you. And you're like between a rock and a hard place. You're not, and take this with a grain of salt, but I kind of like feel you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't because you care so much and it affects you and you want everything to be okay. Oh, man. Man, Sherry.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
I'm just going to pause and let Mark jump in here. Maybe he can bring some more clarity to that.
Well, my first, just right off, I just kind of feeling your energy and you feel a little down, like a little, not tired, like physically, maybe, but just sort of tired of a situation. So I'm wondering about if there, are you working? Do you have a job? I'm kind of getting job related stuff. I'm also getting being up against like yucky puck, masculine energy, like that's not great. It's like oppressive. So I don't know if this is work or not. I feel like here you are, you're hard at work, la 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 la, you work hard, you do a good job, but this energy is bleh. Like there's the emperor, and that feels like the company, the boss, something like that. But it's so not very oh, okay, not very, you know, you don't get a lot of input about being a good employee or anything like that. You kind of feel abused a little bit in a way, and it's takes a toll. So that's what I'm hearing. But the reason they're bringing that up is I feel like there might be a change coming. It's work. Gotcha. That there might be a change coming with work. There's something better out there for you as far as work goes. We want to move away from this emperor energy. That's like the emperor, but that's like being, ew. Now, not every, you can have nice male energy, but that wasn't really it. And moving into a more Queen of Wands energy where you feel more supported, more, it's a more of a feminine focused kind of a thing. So I feel like there's another job coming your way or another opportunity. I also pulled the Chariot, which means it on its way. It's likely on its way. Because it wants you to, that's waiting for your ship to come in sometimes, but it's also fitting into where you need to be. But it's something else coming your way. I like it. And here we are again. So then you're in a different work relationship where you fit better with it. Three of Pentacles. So, I don't know you, Sherry. So all of that is just something Spirit's telling me. So I hope it resonates. But then I pulled another deck just to kind of get another thing on it. So oppressive male energy coming down on you. We want to flip that upside down because your normal world would be earth, grass, sky, but it's upside down. So we want to flip it up, and very soon female energy is gonna. So it's so funny because those first cards were all like that, and then I just simply get male soon to female and flipping it. So I don't know. That feels good to me. Oh, you've been feeling this coming. Okay, sweetie. The feedback really helps you guys because again, it's like, I hope this resonates because it's an awfully big story if it doesn't. Anyway, so I like it though.
Yeah.
You're past due.
It's causing you lots of grief and lots of, I feel like that burden, but
Energy.
when spirit works, sometimes they make us feel uncomfortable so that we'll move if we don't move on our own. You may have had an inkling or a thought or an inspiration to start looking, but you hadn't moved. And not you, but we all, when we don't move, when we get the inspiration, sometimes they create a scenario where we feel uncomfortable, and to make us to do that move, because they want you to move in the direction that is in your highest good. And yeah, so
Yeah,
I
and
was
don't
getting
forget,
that.
ask and you receive. So go ahead and let the universe know. Oh, I'd be willing to do that. Let's get this going. Bring me the opportunity. Okay, so you can push it, kickstart it a little bit. I feel like it's already on its way, though. Okay.
Yeah, Sherry, try and give yourself some time to release that. That's my biggest problem. Is I don't know if I should jump. Well, if don't wait until it's a catastrophe to jump. Listen to your instincts.
You can go ahead and start building the new thing before you leave the old.
Yeah.
You don't have to just cut off completely. You can still stay around there a little bit as you're creating the new experience. So, ask the universe to go ahead and start bringing you opportunities, get your attention to see what would be better than this. You don't have to go broke in order to have a new thing. Because a lot of times I've seen, the reason I say that is people will go, oh, if I just quit everything, and it really shows the universe, and it does in a way, but if you're not really super confident in it, it can backfire on you. It's like you can start fearing that I thought I was brave enough to do all this, but it was, and so it can kind of backfire. So don't feel like you have to push beyond what you're comfortable with, if that makes sense.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, Judith has a very charged or very heavy weighted question here. She says, my husband and I have an appointment with a tax consultant. How will it go? And she wanted to add a little background. My husband is experiencing age related memory loss. Um, yeah, that's a tough one. Um, so I'm just going to use my.
So we're going to the tax consultant. All right.
So, what I was picking up for you, Judith, is that it's important for you to be honest with the tax consultant. He may have some methods or uh, things that are automated for you that would help you. Um, so that it's not so challenging for the memory. Honestly, some of the best of us, it's really hard to remember all this stuff once a year and what I
Right.
did last Tuesday and what I did last February. I mean, come on, it is taxing. That's why they say that word taxing. But I do feel as though it's important to be honest, and he may be able to set something up that's a little more automated for you, or a little more like to a way of organization or a way of keeping track, or he may be. And I asked, is he going to suggest a financial advisor so that maybe you can put things in a different vehicle so that it's a little more. And I didn't get that he would recommend a financial advisor. But is it in Judith's best interest and her husband's to consult a financial advisor? It's a big maybe. It was a not necessarily in the long run. You don't really have to go that far right now. I think that talking to the tax consultant and having them maybe automate some things with you for you, or direct you to some things that will help to automate. And they're just simple suggestions. I think that your husband will be okay, and as long as he's honest, because he doesn't have to remember everything.
Right.
He just has to have record of it at the time and keep the records.
Yep, I think that going to the tax consultant is the thing to do, and yes, that's a good idea. I feel like your husband may think, well, I don't really need that. I can do it on my own. But no, he really needs the assistance. It's a little too much. It's a little too burdensome for him. Part of it's because his memory, but also just in general. It's just a lot. So the tax consultant will help prevent this kind of taxes and help it'll turn into this kind of taxes. So that's like good, yay. And this could be a potential, I forgot to send it. I didn't put this in there. So you just kind of need that extra pair of eyes to help you. And they can just simply do it. But make sure they get all the facts. You report all the work and the truthfulness, like Jean was saying. But kind of the tax person will be able to juggle things and fix it out in a way so that it all works out okay. So, I'm all for the tax guy being there to help out. I mean,
Yeah.
you'll have to pay them, but in the long run, it's a better idea for now, I think.
Yeah. You can also make corrections to your returns 2 years without any penalties. So if something comes up and you found something from last year that never got added and it should have been, and it would have helped you out, you can always amend those tax returns up to 2 years later without any penalty, even though you already got a return or you already made a payment. It's there. They allow that. And so make sure you bring everything. But I feel as though he's going to be setting you up with something automated, something to help, you know, something maybe monthly or something quarterly that you guys do to help you to be not have to just rely on paper. And even though it may sound scary to be automated if you're not very computer savvy, but it is something that you'll be able to do. Simply, it's a simple thing on the internet. I feel that just like if you go onto your bank to pay things, it's almost like something simple like that. Like you can get downloads from your bank or downloads from your credit cards, something like that that you'd be able to do easily. It's not hard, complicated math or computer stuff. It's really, I feel as though I hope, yeah, that's what I feel, that he's going to suggest something automated. All the best to you, Judy. Oh, she says the hard part is finding all the paperwork my husband didn't file too well, and doesn't remember much. Yeah, he's going to show you the way. There's everything that's on paper is online, so he'll be able to help you find all that stuff. And like I said, if there's something 2 years back, he'll be able to make those corrections and help you out, because everything is there. But all the best to you, Judy. Please don't worry,
Yeah.
and let them
It's all
let
going
them
to work
know.
out. I just think like the tax consultant's kind of the answer. It'll just really help. Let them do all that. They'll be able to, if there is some paper you need to find, they'll tell you. But other than that, they'll be able to fix it all up for you. And I just feel like at this time, that's the great. You need to delegate that, to someone else.
Mhm.
I just learned how to do the banking. Oh, sweetie, I know what you're talking about. Thank God I have a cousin that's a tax person. I was just thinking yesterday, I got to call her today to say, I'm bringing my stuff. Thank goodness, because my brain does not work that direction. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
and my husband, my partner used to do a lot of that. So I'm like you, Judith. I had to learn how to. Oh. Thank God, though, the universe said, yes, Mark is stupid. So we'll make sure he has a relative that will do it for him. Just kidding.
Okay, so we have Melody is here, and after Melody is oh gosh, it's so hard, you guys. Oof. Um I see Melinda Salinas and Craig Dixon. So Melinda and Craig after Melody. And I know Melody, but there's a couple of typos here, and I'm going to try and I was working on my spidey sense. Anything can I do to make it more peaceful with your siblings is what I'm getting from that. If I have that right, Melody, if you don't mind just saying, is there anything you can do to make it more peaceful with your siblings? What is it? Thanks, Melinda. I see you. So Melody, just let me know. Just say yes if that. I know it's hard sometimes if you're trying to type on your phone and you're not used to it.
Yeah.
But I think that Melody, when I said if somebody hasn't, she said you got it. Good, good. See everybody. She says you got it. Oh, good. I said if anybody's a first new person, they have a question, just yell it out. Oh, thanks, Melody. Okay. So let's see what we can do. Anything she can do to make it more peaceful with her siblings. It's hard for me to type on my phone.
Yep. I got it left in. Hold on.
So, Melody, what I'm feeling for you right away is to work on building the balance in your own energy. And the way that you can do that is with a chakra balancing technique. And you can look up chakra balancing on the internet, and there's little 5-minute ones, there's 10-minute ones, and there's longer ones if you want. But work on building and balancing your own energy. And what it does is it puts out a signal to the drama and the chaos around you, and the hurt feelings or the spiteful. I feel like somebody is being passive aggressive to you, and they do this because they feel the response. And what you want to do is you want to work on that not responding and only sending everybody around you love and light. Like imagine a big giant dome around your entire community, and see that there's this golden white light inside of this dome, and that everybody is lifted, all of their burdens, all of their spitefulness, all of their passive aggressiveness. It is like dissolved and goes up into the ethers, and what comes down is this golden white light around them. And especially for you and your energy, make sure you're protected, make sure your energy is calm and balanced, and is not swayed by their attempts to sort of not manipulate you, but their attempts to antagonize you is the better question. But it's because they're having trouble and they're having a difficulty, and it's almost like I'm not going to suffer alone. I'm going to let my hurt out on everybody. Like if they don't have a husband, or if they don't have what they want, they're going to complain and spread that all around. But you don't have to be the brunt of their emotional outbursts. You can just recognize. You could just say, I could see that you're hurting, and that's it. And sometimes just being validated, just being recognized is enough. And but I do feel as though it's important for you to protect your energy, balance your energy, and strengthen the auric field around you, strengthen your chakra balancing around you. Try not to react and to what they're doing or saying, and just understand that they may be in pain, and that's why they're acting that way. Don't tell them that, because they'll deny it, but just say, I can see that you're hurting. you know.
Yeah.
How about you, Mark?
Yeah. Well, I think you're better at holding the peace in general. But on some level, they're going to do what they're going to do, regardless of what you do. It's like, I'd like for this to be better, but you're kind of doing what you do to make it better, but the others are a little bit unwilling. There's that thing of some always remind myself of would I'd rather be right or happy? There's a lot of I want to be right in this situation, not you, but some of the siblings. So there's a lot of wanting to be right. And screw happiness, I need to be right. So there's a little bit of that. And we're getting value in arguing and stuff like that. Is there some kind of issue about, it might not be, but I'm going to ask us this card. Is there an issue with inheritance or something too?
Oh,
There's some little bit about fighting about money or fighting about mom and dad love me best, or who was loved the best, who's the best sibling. There's a little bit of competition amongst us here, which isn't unusual. That happens a lot with siblings. But I don't know if there's already been some kind of will or something like that. But I do see that we're going to move beyond this, even though it's kind of up and everybody's, well, there's a lot of this. We are going to move away from it and get back into a more supportive energy from one another. Doesn't mean everybody's going to agree on everything, but we don't have to attack everyone all the time. Yeah, there's a little bit of, yeah, I'm on it for Eastern. It's a little bit of worrying about which one of us is loved the best or something like that. It's weird. There's a little competition in there. So that's kind of at the bottom of it a little bit. But I think it's going to get better. I don't have a great suggestion other than just let them do it and kind of, keep your energy nice and strong. All the things that Jean was saying, kind of keep yourself well cared for, but in a way they have to let it run its course here. There seems to be two in particular that sometimes try to put you in the middle or something, maybe. And because it feels less about you, sweetie, than it does about your siblings. And two in particular seem to really be, back and forth a lot and try to get you in the middle or get you on their side or something like that. I'm sorry about it. But I feel like it's going to have to kind of work itself out. Because I did get the Sun card is the last card I pulled.
Oh, that's good.
And so that means, hope, sunny days in the future. So we're just acting a little immature and just kind of arguing and fighting for just because, it's just as easy not to, but sometimes you just choose the fighting, especially with siblings because you're used to it or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the best to you, Melody. Thank you very much for your question and for hanging in there. And I have Melinda next. After Melinda is Craig Dixon. Craig, if you're still here, just let me know. And let me see who else, if Craig has left. I know you guys have other things to do.
Oh, Kelly, I'm so sorry, sweetie. My heart goes out to you. Her dad passed away and committed suicide, she said. Weeks ago.
So Kelly, just let us know his first name. Oh, you're welcome, Melody. So Melinda says, is reconnecting with someone, RT, from my past, a positive choice for me? Still on the fence about it.
Reconnecting with somebody. Okay, from the past. RT's his initials. Is it a positive choice? Okay. I know you just read it, but I had to read it again.
Thanks, Craig. I see you. That's okay. No, believe me, it doesn't. It takes. Yeah.
Yeah. RT.
I'm getting yes, Melinda. I'm getting nothing ventured, nothing gained. Give him a try. Give it a chance. And there may be some compromises. There may be some sputters because of when we're set in our ways. But sometimes when we're much more mature, we can see things from a different angle. I'm seeing that it is a positive, a positive relationship, and that I don't know if it's going to be lifelong, but I feel it's going to be positive for both of you. Um, that you both need somebody right now, and you both need some love, and you both need um, companionship, and you both need to give it a go. You both owe it to yourself because I think you both think about each other, and you both wonder, could it have been, should we have done what, why didn't we? And it's almost like nothing ventured, nothing gained. Almost give it a try and um, see how see how it pans out for each of you. Will this be a lasting relationship for Melinda? Will this be a lasting relationship for Melinda? It says yes on lasting. Will this be Melinda's one and only for the rest of her life? And it says no. So I feel as though there's something there. But I don't know about for the rest of your life, and how things go, or what his ties are. Maybe he's newly divorced and thinking of you because you were there before he got married. But I think it's in both of your interests to give it a chance. How
Yeah.
about you, Mark?
Yeah, I would do that too. The pendulum said, yeah, I'll go for the meeting. I wouldn't try not to have a lot of expectations about it. I feel like it does feel like a he, so I think I'm going to say it's a he, RT. He's going to be like what you remembered. It'll be good to catch up and see what he's been doing all this time. But I get the Emperor again, so it's a male energy coming. And so in some ways hasn't changed a lot since you knew him. But it'll be fun catching up, see what you've both been doing since you knew each other. It'll be an enjoyable time together. So, again, I get like, here's the Emperor and then here's the Queen of Cups, you two coming together again. You're a little more spiritual, a little more intuitive and stuff like that than he is. He's a little more, in a box a little bit. And ultimately, if you compared the two, you've been quite successful since you've known him. So, you have like a nice, lovely presentation there to present well. You do bring this energy out in him, the King of Cups energy from the Emperor. So it is going to be a nice... now, I'm not going to say you're going to run off and get married tonight or anything, but it's going to be a good meeting and talk and seeing how things have progressed since you were last together. You might decide you want to hang out a little bit more. and talk to each other more and just take it kind of one step at a time. Overall, I would say that since you guys were together or knew each other before, you've progressed a little, I don't like to say better or worse, but you're happier where you are, I feel, than what the way he might be. Just because sometimes if you have too much of that emperor energy going, you don't let the other side come in and help balance you out. But I think you provided that for him quite a bit, and he recognizes that. So I would say go and see what happens.
So, Melinda, let us know if this makes sense to you, or if this resonates with you, or if we're on the right track. It's real, only because
Yeah.
it does change a little bit sometimes. I'm just getting something different.
Okie dokie. Yeah, because we're getting close to 2.
I know. I have to go as well. We only have, do you want to stop, or do you want to try and squeeze in one little,
We can do
one
more.
more? Because I do have something right at 2. Okay. So Melinda says, thank you both. I know what you mean, Mark. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Great.
Um,
There you go. I like it.
I don't know if we're going to have time
To do one
I'm
more.
trying to see. Craig is next, and if it's a yes or no, I can do it. Let me see what he says. Does my mom Martha have a message for me? I do try and get along with some family members like Aunt Caroline, but Loretta needs growing up. Thanks.
So you're looking for a message from Martha, his mom.
She's saying you're doing the right thing by trying to get along and trying to be amicable, trying to be diplomatic, and almost respecting them for the connection to the bloodline family, but also respecting them for being on their journey. Where they are on their journey is not maybe as far along as you are on your journey of self-awareness. Understand that they are still on their journey of self-awareness, and this will help you to keep things in perspective. And you're doing the right thing by getting along, and this is what your mom wants you to do, is just keep getting along, do what you got to do to keep the peace, be diplomatic about it, and try and understand and respect them for their shortcomings, and be the adult, be the bigger man in the room. How about you, Mark?
I pretty much hear all those exact things you just said. And then the cards are saying it too. And I was already hearing that. So first of all, she thinks you're doing a great job. Mom does. Martha, who is my mom's name too. And she's proud of you. She also knows it's not necessarily the easiest thing dealing with her relatives. She realizes that, but she thinks you do a good job. So the first card I got was the Temperance. I got these new pink Rider-Waite because they have a few words on the bottom. You know me, I always read from pictures. So I thought, oh, let me get something that has words on there too to see if that makes any sense. But this one, what I like, so you bring balance there. You serve as the Temperance, but also the one word on here, it says temperance, healing, harmony, moderation, patience. That's pretty much you in the situation, buddy boy. And then you get the Knight of Cups, because what do you bring to the situation? You lead with your heart. You also have a nice imagination. So you kind of bring a little bit of you uplift the spirits there. She sees you as this Knight of Cups, doing your job. And she thinks it's making a positive difference. So you also get the Six of Wands. Mom does. She likes that you go in there, you do your best, you have your patience, and so this card is victory and achievement. So you make a positive difference there. And if that wasn't enough, they also get the Four of Wands. So you make a positive difference at the home too. So she wants you to know that even those nights it might not feel like it, Lord, I'm tired. No, Lord, I tried. Yeah. That it does make a positive difference. And it does bring happiness. You bring that in there. They're not used to it. And so you bring a different color to them, and you do make a positive difference. And she's very proud of you for what you do.
Wonderful.
She knows it takes patience.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you, Craig, and thank you, everybody, for being here. All of those who had their questions answered, and those who did not, and stayed and held space for those who did. We really appreciate all of your energy. It was a beautiful, beautiful session. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And if you're watching this on the replay, we hope you get something from the readings as well. And Mark if anybody doesn't have their question answered, please go over to Mark's channel. He's going to be on at 4:00 Eastern this afternoon, and you can ask him anything there as well. So it's Spirit Whisperer on YouTube. Just go ahead over, and he'll be there at 4 p.m. Eastern. And what was it? What was the other thing you said?
Oh, nothing. I just said, yeah, come on over there. Today's Ask Anything Day, so any questions, fine.
And tomorrow I'll be on with Allie, Heart and Soul Connected. So please do come on over. I'll also be on with Sherry. You saw her in the chat here. Sherry, Voices from the Swamp, is here. I'll be on with Sherry as well. So please do check us out. Thank you all very much, and enjoy your weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.